going to go through 5 steps to breaking these patterns, okay? And the number 1 is recognizing it, being aware that it's there, okay? This is through reflection from introspection. This may take you time, okay? However, a year from now, you'll be glad you started today, okay? You'll be glad you started thinking about it today, because a year from now, even if you put just a little bit of time in here, a little bit of time in there, and when it creeps back into your head and you go, yeah, that's something I've been thinking about, it may take time. It may take a day to identify and say, yeah, I didn't like that pattern. I see the pattern now, and I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna change my behavior and do something differently, or it may take a month, it may take a year, okay? So the first one is reflect on it and introspection. Okay, allow yourself to go in and think about, where might this belief have come from? Where did this come from? Okay, so another thing about the reflection and introspection is you want to do it without judgment. So you want to see it within yourself. This is something I do. Then you want to think about your ancestry and say, yeah, I believe my grandmother did that, or my parents did that as well. So you want to do it without judgment, okay? Because remember, they got it too, okay? They inherited it from somebody as well, most likely, okay? And again, sometimes we're the creators of the traits. Sometimes we are. Oftentimes it's coming down, okay? So that means that your parent that acted in that way maybe had a huge attraction to fine art or something like that, right? Well, that's not really a negative thing. Let's think of something negative. Okay, actually, that's actually a really positive thing. So let's stick with the negative. So we want to change the negative. So let's say the ancestor had a negative behavior and it came down through to you. You don't want to have judgment of that ancestor for it, because they most likely got it from another. Okay. All right. So you want to dig deep in this. This is when you want to be the detective and take time to let it mellow like a fine wine. Just let it mellow, not stressing yourself out. You can pray on it and ask for guidance and just say, give me some more information here, please. I could use some more information to help me with this. So looking for patterns of your own, okay, looking at your own patterns. Do you have money problems? Do you attract friends that complain? Did you believe that work was a struggle? Okay, what patterns do you have? Okay, so that's super important. And so with that introspection and reflection, you're identifying negative things that you don't really know why it's about. And then you're looking at your ancestry without judgment. Okay, so that's all under the reflection and introspection piece. The next one is, what triggers that belief? What triggers it in this day to day? Usually it's something visual or something verbal that you hear that triggers that emotion, triggers that feeling, triggers that pattern. So let's say your husband acts like your father. So then you in turn turn around and start acting like your mother, because it was what you saw. It is what came in, the belief systems, the behaviors, the traits, it's what you saw. So then you realize, you go, oh my God, I'm acting just like my mother. How many of us have said that before? Okay, was it in a good way? Because if it wasn't, then that's something you might want to address. Okay, so what was the trigger? What triggers it? And when it does trigger, what is your reaction to it? And have you seen that before somewhere in a parent or aunt, uncle, and so on and so forth? The third is to make space to deal with it, okay? And this is, again, giving yourself time to deal with it. Some of these generational negative patterns have been around for a long, long time, and they're very deeply ingrained. Okay. So having patience with yourself, digging, digging, digging. Journaling is a great way to do it. Hey, this just came up to mind. Maybe so and so was influenced by money because they lost their job on the railroad in the 1800s. So maybe that's where something came through, right? So you're allowing yourself to really empty the baggage little by little, and knowing that there's a lot of it in there, okay? Because we all have it. We all have baggage. And again, you're not judging yourself. You're not judging the other members of your family. You're just looking at it from an observer perspective. Oh, wow. And wow, that could have happened. Wow, yes, I get it. I get it. I get it. And the more that you do this, and I can attest to this, the more that you let go, the more that you empty that baggage, the lighter you will feel. You will feel physically like you've lifted something off your heart. You've released a heart wall. You've released something that's just not serving you any longer, and you will feel energetically lighter. Okay, that's how you really know that it's taking effect. So give yourself time and space to discover more about yourself, things that you don't like about yourself, where they may have started, okay? And then making those changes, those subtle movements to start moving that out, okay? Before you're doing all the moving out and things along that line, although you can start moving things out today if you wish to, so unpacking, while you're doing some of the heavy lifting or heavy releasing, I guess, your other family members may be uncomfortable, okay? They may not really know what you're doing or why you're doing it. So if you can give them a little snippet of what you're trying to process at this time, then they may have something to contribute to it that will help you along your way. And so you can ask for help. You can say, hey, if you've got any ideas or if you have anything that you can contribute to help me process this experience that I had with our family in this lifetime, help me process it so that I can release it and potentially release it from all the future generations as well. Not potentially, actually, okay? So so you're being kind to yourself. You may notice that your family's distancing a little bit because they're like, okay, she's talking about something I'm not really comfortable about, and let it be. It's just, you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with distancing yourself and also potentially seeing them distance from you for a while you're processing it. So it's super important though to at least give them a little idea of what you're trying to process, whether it's abandonment, whether it's betrayal, whether it's feelings of rejection. Where did that come from? Well, let me think about this. I'm going to think about this. But if you have anything you can contribute and if you have a particular instance in mind where you felt abandoned or felt betrayed, that you can give them so that they can think about it too, and maybe put themselves in your shoes and have some empathy and compassion for you. Okay, so let them know what's going on. And then what you want to do is, once you identify it and you say, okay, I am doing my work on this and I'm ready to release this, I'm going to amend it without any pressure on myself. Okay, so I'm not going to I'm not going to just cut this out because most likely it's something deep. Okay, so you want to be very gentle with yourself, very loving with yourself. If it is a fear of some form, fear of rejection, something along that line, then you want to do the work on how to overcome that fear. And while you're doing it, you want to be super, super, super good to yourself. And also remember that what you're doing when you're making any changes, okay, to yourself that is going to affect everybody around you in a positive way. It's huge. It's so, so huge. Even if it seems to be a small change, it's huge. It's more than anybody else has done in the generation on that particular subject, okay? Because you're the one that's breaking the tie. All right? Yes. Okay, so let's see, what was I going to speak about next? Right, okay. So the 5 again are recognize the trend, notice the triggers, okay? Make space to deal with it. So give yourself space. Tell your relatives or tell a relative who will most likely tell other relatives, right? What's going on? Okay, I'm working on this and I may be silent for a while, and I certainly would appreciate any information that you can give forward, and then amend it slowly. So doing the healing process. It may, I don't know, maybe you'll be guided to do some therapy. Maybe you'll be guided to get into meditation. Maybe you'll be guided to, if it's something to do with the physical body, maybe you'll be guided to take better care of yourself. And when you go out to eat with family, you're going to eat something more healthy than the rest of the family. Okay, making those changes and no judgment, not judging yourself. If they pressure you in any way, let that go. Just understand that they are in the pattern and you're the one that's breaking it. Okay, so it's powerful, very, very, very powerful work.